Hey everybody, do you like Ultraman? Cause I sure do, and that makes me super qualified to get this job. They want me to make a galaxy fight story, and you know what that means? It's time to churn up the ideas for a new Ultra Galaxy fight story and get this job. Ultra Galaxy Fight is a web miniseries produced by Tsuburaya Productions and airs on YouTube. It is an evolution from the low-budget Ultra Fight series, a replay of old fight scenes, and the successor of the more recent Ultra Fight Victory and Ultra Fight Orb. Ultra Galaxy Fight New Generation Heroes, which aired in 2019, was the first in the series, which told a connected story starring all the New Generation heroes until that point, from Ginga to Rosso and Blue, and connected the plot thread into next series Ultraman Taiga. The next Ultra Galaxy Fight, The Absolute Conspiracy in 2020, was an even more ambitious series, introducing the villain Absolute Tartarus, consists of 3 story arcs, and of course, put a lot of good old Ultras in the spotlight. Now, there's no guarantee that there will be a new Ultra Galaxy fight every year, but the trend does show the possibility of a new one coming out in the series. As these Ultra Galaxy fights are getting even more ambitious and just as hype as the main series, fans are excited to see what's next. So I thought it would be a fun thing to do to give my own pitch for how I would make an Ultra Galaxy fight. Now, this isn't speculation or a leaked discussion or something that will happen, it's just my own ideas for this mini-series. We'll try to keep things grounded and look at it from the angle of what I think could realistically happen, so nothing crazy like Redman or Hanuman as the major villain. Before we begin, there's gonna be mild spoilers for Ultraman Z's ending, so get out of here if you don't want to get spoiled. But first, let's go over the stuff that we can expect from an Ultra Galaxy fight. It is a low-budget show, most of the suits are already existing, whether from stage shows or the older shows, so no making new Ultras, and let's keep the new original characters to a minimum. And no human appearances, as actors are more expensive compared to just hiring the suit actors and voice actors. And finally, the story is set mostly in space, on different planets, as this only requires green screen backdrop and no need for building new set pieces. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about my theoretical Ultra Galaxy fight, which I will call the Revenge Illusion. Oh, so edgy! For reasons that will become clearer later on. First up, the plot. The New Generation heroes had several plot lines from different Ultras dealing with different problems that pop up. Grijo's kidnapping, X-Darkness and Jeet Darkness appearances, and eventually they'll all work together to defeat the culprit Ultra Dark Killer. The Absolute Conspiracy is basically Absolute Tartarus messing with villains from different times and messing with the Ultra heroes, while shedding some light on the past. The common pattern here is a large plot that intertwines different character stories together into one big climax. Revenge Illusion will play out similarly. A disturbance in the galaxy alerts the Ultras to investigate further until they track the big bad down and big climactic fight happens. To connect to a recent series, this series will pick up from Ultraman Z. From that series, we have a few things that could possibly come into play, such as the Devil Sprinters and the Alien Barossa army, but I don't want to include those because those will likely be expanded upon the official canon sometime soon. So instead, let's talk about something that may not be expanded upon as much. Remember Cerebro? He said that he's caused civilizations to destroy themselves with their own creations. I think it would be cool if these creations were suddenly rampaging across the galaxy again, but controlled by another force that has taken control of these weapons of mass destruction. These don't have to be new robots or new monsters, and they could just reuse older kaiju suits and say that these are the enhanced versions engineered by civilizations, something like Grijo Raiden. Monsters like Enhanced Genegarg, Enhanced Pandon, and Gilvalis could appear. They could be shrouded by a bluish aura or something to indicate that they are enhanced versions of themselves engineered by the civilizations. Now, to get even further into the concept, we'll have to get into the characters. The lead character of this special would be none other than Ultraman Z. I personally think that Z has enough star power to carry this show given the massive popularity of his series. Ultraman Zero will also feature alongside him. Now I know what you're thinking. Zero again? The Ultra series has so many other characters and potential for different stars that it's not even funny. It's not? But Zero is just that well known, and he's a very versatile character. It's easy on Tsuburaya's part to get his voice actor. His status as a young and strong adventurous Ultra lends well to making a story as well.
Plus, Bandai's got tons of Zero merch to sell, so they've got to push for Zero when they can. But in Revenge Illusion, Zero will be more of a secondary character to Z. And finally, the other character given focus is the new Ultra from the new series in 2021, which at this point we do not have any news yet. The Absolute Conspiracy featured many Ultras which hadn't gotten their time in the spotlight for a long time. AT, Neos, 721, Max, Powered, and even brought stage show characters to the same canon like Sora and Z. Coming off of this idea, Revenge Illusion will further feature rarely used characters. Astra and Ultraman Leo haven't been seen since Ultraman Jade, and they were the only major ones from the Showa era that didn't appear in the Absolute Conspiracy. Therefore, they're gonna get their share of badassery in this special. Ultraman Scott, Chuck, and Ultra Woman Beth, also known as Ultraman USA, will appear in a similar capacity as Great or Neos did in Absolute Conspiracy. Ultraman Gaia, Agul, and Nexus. Cosmos, Justice, Neos, and 721 could come back again, seeing as they didn't do much back in the Absolute Conspiracy. We'll need to throw in some newer strategic characters too to broaden the appeal, so the Revenge Illusion will also feature Orb and Jeed. Ultimate Force Zero makes their appearance too, and also bring back Nice and Ziath to the fray. They could provide some moments of levity in the story, and it's been so long since they show up on screen, and it would be a nice treat for the fans. The main villain would be an interesting take on a classic, Alien Baltan, but not regular old Baltan, Revenge of Baltan from the stage show. I'm not sure if this form or suit even still exists, but come on, his design is so ridiculous we just need to have him return. His motivation would be as a revenge to the galaxy who denied them and their own civilization. Similarly to the Absolute Conspiracy, the Revenge Illusion will also be structured in 3 arcs over 9 episodes. That formula worked well in the Absolute Conspiracy as it broke up the action and flow really well, so hey, it should work here as well. In the first arc, Ultraman Z is journeying through space and lands on a planet with no signs of life, where he meets Ultraman Orb. They then suddenly encounter an awakened killing machine that has an aura similar to Destrodos. They then make their way together to check out similar energy detections that they found. Meanwhile, Gaia and Agul are awakened back to action by a force that says it's the Radical Destruction Bringer, a genocidal entity that was the main villain back in Ultraman Gaia. As the two Ultras are shocked to learn of its comeback, they decide to end it once and for all as they threaten to send forces throughout the galaxy. Gaia and Agul rarely ever leave the Earth to fight, but I wanted them to get involved too. In the end, these two groups cross paths and battle with what turns out to be Emperor Death Baltan. Gaia and Agul discover that something else had been impersonating the Radical Destruction Bringer all along in this battle, and then Ultimate Force Zero arrives to help Z as they struggle through their way to the Land of Light with the countless weapons that are after them. Gaia and Agul and Glanfire and Mirror Knight split from them to create a diversion so that the path to the Land of Light is not in danger. Ultraman Z, Orb, Jan 9 and Jan Bot make their way to the Land of Light. In the second act, Ultraman Zero reports about the recent activity to Zophy. They ponder about the wrecked civilizations along with Taro and Leo. Then, Zophy sends Neos and 721 as a dispatch team to take care of the weapons awakenings along with Scott, Chuck and Beth. Here, these 5 Ultras will get a chance to shine as they take on the machines of destruction. Leo and Astra recall the loss of L-77 and worry that alien magma may be behind this. This could be a whole episode, like the backstories of Tregear and Belial were in the Absolute Conspiracy. They get a message from Mirror Knight, who gives them the heads up on where the fake Radical Destruction Bringer told them to go, courtesy of Ultraman Gaia. As they head off, several Chaos Roids appear in the Land of Light with similar energy to the weapons. They are taken out by Leo, Astra, Zero, and later Jeed, who just arrived, and in the aftermath of the final battle of this arc, Z and Orb arrive to the Land of Light and talk about the incident with them. Ultraman Z is excited to meet Leo and will get some nice interactions between Z, Leo and Zero. In the third and final act, the Gaia and Agul gang meet up with the other Ultras along the way, Ziarth, Nice and the new Ultraman, who are all protecting their universes. The Ultra brothers are sent to the coordinates given by Gaia, only to find that they had been tricked and the real threat is elsewhere. The Leo, Zero, Z, Orb, Jeet and Astra gang head to the real place in time where the battle takes place. Gaia, Agul, Ziarth, Nice and the new Ultra also join in the fray. The enemy is revealed as the Revenge of Baltan and duplicates itself like Dark Baltan did in Max. In the climax of this battle, Ultraman Z gains a new form, and with the help of his masters Zero and Leo, defeats Revenge of Baltan, and all trace of Cerebro disappears once and for all.
Well, that was harder than I thought.
And that would be it. I initially wanted to include Nexus, but I thought it would be difficult to include him without explaining the whole Noah devolution thing and Cosmos Injustice too, but the cast is already kinda big and they had their chance to shine in the Absolute Conspiracy. I didn't really put the new Ultraman in a major role since we don't know much about him, so the safest choice was to go with Ultraman Z instead. Now I know what you're thinking. Meek, this is just your fanfiction. My idea is cooler. This idea is just
so edgy!
Well, as I said, this is just how I would make an Ultra Galaxy fight if I were to make one. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, so drop them below if you like coming up with this stuff. But in the end, I do think this idea isn't really relevant anymore in the current Absolute Tartarus story arc, so the Revenge Illusion will be released in an unspecified year. That way I can give myself an excuse to not tie this into any pre-existing storyline. Come on, just let me have this one. Do I see Tsuburaya coming up with something like this idea? It's very unlikely. The next one could go many ways. And there might not even be a new Ultra Galaxy fight soon. They might even just make an Ultra Fight Z instead. But it's fun thinking about how you would write a miniseries like this and how you think would cater to the fans and newcomers.
To be frank, I pooped after working on that for the portfolio. Let me just check the job description and working hours to see if... I got the job all wrong! They wanted me to make a house!